So tomorrow's the start of the NBA playoffs. And who better than me to tell you how it's gonna go down? Now you must be wondering, how do I know? Who am I? How am I gonna know how the NBA playoffs is gonna end up? How am I gonna know who's gonna win a chip? Well, you know, Kenny Beecham, legend of winning, B Souls, Pee Wee the Plug. I'm like the Hispanic Pee Wee the Plug, bro. I see the game at a different level than y'all Pee Wee brains, bro. Y'all got little itty bitty Pee Wee peanut brains. Now let me stop playing. Okay, y'all not dumb, and I'm not super smart either. But I think I know how the playoffs gonna break down. Oh, Gas man, how do you know? How do you know who's gonna win the championship? Interrogation room, a lot of shit I can't say. Pull up Uzi, squirt booty, twerk. If you know, you know. So we're gonna get it started on the Eastern Conference. And I don't really gotta say too much about this series, man. You already know how it's gonna go. Cleveland won 64 games. Are you understanding that? 64 games? They won 64 games. They're just gonna smack the Heat around. They're probably gonna win in 4. They're most likely gonna sweep the Heat. The Heat will probably get lucky and get one game with Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo go crazy. They might get one game. And I know you're wondering what's that in the corner. I don't know. I don't know. I'll just record and that popped out of nowhere. The next series is Boston versus the Magic. Now, coming into the season, I had really high expectations for the Magic off the season they just had last year. In my head, they were like the Eastern version of the Oklahoma City Thunder to a lesser degree. I'm not gonna say they're gonna be on the same level, but how the progression was going. In my head, Paolo was gonna have an all NBA season and Franz Wagner was gonna be a NBA All-Star. Things didn't quite turn out how they're supposed to. You know, Paolo missed a big chunk of the season with an injury, and Franz missed a decent amount of games himself as well. So the Magic ended up with a 41-41 record, breaking even. Jalen Suggs got injured halfway through the season as well. So if this team was fully healthy, I think they have a better chance, but even then their offense is lacking a lot. They don't have enough shooting on the team, and they need a lead ball handler. In that playing game, Cole Anthony and Anthony Black were doing exactly what the Magic need, but that was one game. They're not gonna do that the whole series. Well, I don't know. Maybe they just do. Maybe they just do it. I don't know. But even if Cole Anthony was to play like that the whole series, I still don't think they're gonna win the series. The Magic has an elite defense, but so do the Celtics, and they have an elite offense as well. As for the Boston Celtics, they ended up as the second seed with 61 wins. That team is still super elite. Last year, they won the chip damn near without Porzingis playing at all. He played, I believe, a few games. He had that one good game in the finals, but besides that, he really wasn't relevant. And I feel like the same thing might happen this year. He might just get injured again during the playoffs, and he might not just play. He's been in and out all season with injuries. And the way these other teams been looking, I feel like they really might need Porzingis to actually have a chance to win the chip this year. Not to mention Jaylen Brown's injury as well. And he said he gonna start playing like Paul Pierce. Hell, if Jaylen Brown and Porzingis sat out, I still might take the Celtics over the Magic. I'm not gonna lie. I still might take them over the Magic. So I'm taking Boston in 5 games. I do believe the Magic might be able to get one game off the Celtics. So I'm gonna move on to the next series. The 3-6 matchup is the Knicks versus the Pistons. A round of applause. I would clap my hand right here, but the mic's gonna go loud. So everyone get Detroit. After last season when they lost 28 games in a row, I was not expecting this big of a jump for the Detroit Pistons coming into this season. Yes, last year they basically had the same team, and I didn't expect them to be that bad last year. But to be fair, Monty Williams did rob the team. He wanted to retire, but they gave him a bag he could not resist. So why wouldn't he take the money? Why would he was begging to get fired last year, but now that JB Bickerstaff's on the team, he created this culture. He really fighting for his players. I feel like every press conference, he over there banging the table for his team. And that's the attitude the Detroit Pistons have this year. They're nothing but dogs. Isaiah Stewart, he's more than a dog. I don't know what he is. He a wolf. Remember when LeBron cut him, he's bleeding all over his face. He chasing LeBron, trying to beat his ass. Y'all remember that? And that's just the whole culture. I see Jalen Duren in a similar light. Asar Thompson, he tough as hell. He more the laid back, quiet type. He's still pretty tough. And Cade Cunningham is that guy. This season, he solidified himself as damn near a superstar. I think it's fair to call him a superstar. Call me crazy, but I think he top 10. And as for the Knicks, Jalen Brunson missed a significant amount of times due to injuries. I believe Cat missed a decent amount of time as well. Mitchell Robinson, I don't even know if he played. He damn near missed the whole season. Played like 40 games this year and last year combined. He don't really be playing. But in a series like this, they could really need him. They could really use him. Mitchell Robinson, a big body. Who was going to wrestle with Isaiah Stewart? You going to send Jalen Brunson out there? I mean, Josh Hart do it. Josh Hart do it. He'd fight Isaiah Stewart. He get his ass beat. He'd do it. But damn, Mitchell Robinson big ass out there. Mitchell Robinson go play for half a quarter, get injured. He gonna be on the IG live talking crazy. He do that every time he get injured. He be talking crazy on his socials. But we know what Jalen Brunson looks like in the playoffs. Even in his Dallas days, he's a dog as well. And that's not even mentioning Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby's versatility defensively. Like I said, when it comes to the Knicks, my main concerns is that Mitchell Robinson gonna play half a quarter. He gonna get injured, and Tom Thibodeau gonna run his players to the ground. ground because they really don't get that much depth. They got like 6 players, 7 maybe, that they probably trust. And Tom Thibodeau gonna run the starting 5 the whole game, so it doesn't matter who on the bench because he's not gonna run them. I really feel like if the Knicks fall short in the playoffs, this is probably the last season Tom Thibodeau gonna coach them. With that being said, Knicks in 6. Moving on to the next series is the Bucks versus the Pacers. Now, call me weird, but this is probably one of my most anticipated series in the playoffs. The reason for that, I'm a big Tyrese Halliburton fan. Why? Because he a dork. I think that's pretty cool. Like, he a dork. Like, he be walking in the tunnels looking like Steve Urkel, but then he'll gonna drop you off. Like, that's raw. Like, that's really, like y'all don't see that? I mess with Pascal Siakam and a lot of other players on the Pacers. So the Pacers in general, kind of like one of my favorite teams. Tyrese Halliburton has been on a tear for like a majority of the season. He did start off pretty slow, but besides that, you know, he's really been back to form how he was last year. Pacers got a well-rounded team. They pretty deep as well. They got like 8 or 9 guys that can play in the playoffs. The defense could be a little wishy-washy from time to time. And as good as Tyrese Halliburton is, he's not a #1 option when it comes to scoring the ball. At least not yet. He might get there eventually, or he might prove it in this playoffs. But to be honest, they need Pascal Siakam to play like he did last playoffs if they want to have a chance to go anywhere this postseason. Now, moving on to the Bucks. Now, the Bucks ended with 48 wins, which is pretty disappointing. Coming into the season, you know, it was the second year Dame and Giannis got to play with each other. Everyone was thinking they're going to be like a top 2, top 3 seed, but they dealt with a good amount of injuries like they do every year. Dame's been out for a month with blood clots, and he's barely going to come. And when he come back, he's not going to be 100%. So we don't really know what version of Dame we're going to get. Giannis really going to have to put his team on his back if they have any chance to win at all. And Giannis really that guy. It's hard for me to pick against him, but Giannis really don't got help. Who he got? KPJ? I don't know, bro. I don't know. What I do know though, no one on that pace is gonna have any chance in hell to stop Giannis from doing anything he want to do. Giannis might average 40, 20, and 20 this series, but I still believe the Pacers gonna come out to win because, like I said, they got the depth and they got the stars, and they've been together for a few years, so I feel like they got the chemistry going and everything. With that being said, Pacers in 6. Moving on to the Western Conference, we got Houston versus Golden State. Man, has Houston been a surprise? The way they ended last season, remember, like they had that little stretch where they almost got into the play-in, and they're going back and forth with the Warriors to try to get into the play-in. It's a little different now this year. Now both of those teams playing in the playoffs to go to the next round. If you would have asked me before the season started where I think the Rockets would have ended, in my head, their ceiling was like a 6 seed. In my head, I was going to see that progression. They got all them young players, Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, Jalen Green, Prince Sagoon. I felt like I was going to see them all progress a little bit, and everything went right. I feel like they would have got the 6th seed. But no, they far exceeded expectations and ended up the 2nd seed. Amen Thompson, yeah, dog. Prince Sagoon, really good. They got people that have playoff experience, and Fred VanVleet when he won that chip, and Dylan Brooks has been in the playoffs a good amount of times. Their head coach Ime Udoka went to the finals as well. So it's not like they have no experience, but the star players of this team are all young, and they don't have no experience. You know, the betting odds have Golden State winning it, and I can see why. You got Stephen Curry and a rejuvenated Jimmy Butler. Playoff Jimmy and Steph? That's hard to go against. And you know Draymond gonna be out there doing the dirty work. He gonna kick a few nuts. If you're on the fast break and he sees Steven Adams, he going straight for the nuts. And he might have to do that because that lineup of Steven Adams and Prince Sagoon, they're going to take all the boards, especially if Golden State goes playing in small ball, but they have been having Quentin Post out there a lot, so I don't really know how it's going to go. If Golden State plays small, they're going to probably have to play Steven Adams off the court. But then Steven Adams and Prince Sagoon might play so good. Golden State, now let me stop talking like Steven Adams is a superstar or something. Houston has been playing great all year, and I know my eyes are not deceiving me. They are the 2nd seed in the West. But look, the way I see it, if Jimmy Butler plays the way he's been playing these last 2 games, the whole playoffs, Golden State in 6, damn near 5. But if I'm being honest, I don't see Jimmy Butler keeping up this production throughout the whole playoffs. And I know it might not be the most popular pick, but I really believe the Rockets going to end up pulling out this one. So with that being said, Golden State is 7. Yeah, the Rockets are nice. I know. But when it comes down to it, they got Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler. Bro, Jalen Green, the way I've been talking about Jimmy Butler being a hit or miss, Jalen Green's the same way. And he's the #1 option basically in offense. And I don't trust that. So like I said, Golden State is 7. The 3-6 matchup is the Lakers versus Minnesota. These are both teams that have been up and down all year. I feel like Minnesota going a 5-game winning streak, then they'll lose 6 in a row. 7-game winning streak, lose 6 in a row. They going up and down. They going up and down. They ended up winning 49 games, which was actually pretty good. Julius Randle wasn't looking like the greatest fit to start off the season, but like these last 20 games or so, they've been meshing pretty well. Minnesota ended the season 8-2 with a lot of momentum going into the playoffs. They got a lot of good bench players like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo. So they do got a decent amount of depth. But the Lakers, they got Luka and LeBron, and Austin Reeves been playing out his damn mind. I don't know what Luka and Austin Reeves doing in the locker room, but Luka rubbing his magic off on Austin Reeves. Because that little stretch where LeBron was out, Austin Reeves was picking up the slack. It was damn near 2 Lukas out there. My biggest concern for the Lakers is they don't really got a big man. Jackson Hayes, a starting center? Jackson Hayes, their depth does worry me a little bit. They got a lot of names, but I can see Vandal getting played off the court. Rui hit or miss sometimes. Gabe Vincent so inconsistent. So the depth does kind of scare me. But overall, I feel like this is going to be a really close series. Lakers really got one more win in the 3 seeds ahead of Minnesota. That's all you need to know how close the West is. I know Anthony Edwards is gonna go crazy. I know he said he watching mad Luka film to see how Luka deal with double teams. So if he used Luka film to beat Luka, if I was Luka, I'd be mad as hell. But I do think LeBron and Luka is too much for Minnesota to handle. So with that being said, I still think it's gonna be a close series, man. Lakers in 5. The 4-5 seed is gonna be the Clippers versus Denver. Now, I don't know what the hell going on in Denver. I don't see why they would fire Mike Malone with three games to go. If I was David Adelman and they did this, I'd be pretty mad. You just put me in a spot like that. 3 games to go was all the preparation you gave me to put this team on my back. 3 games is all you gave me to make preparations for this team. Are you out your mind? I'll go slap the owner. I'll go give him a backhand. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why would he do that? I know it was the owner that decided that because they fired Calvin Booth 30 minutes after Mike Malone. Now, the Nuggets got Nikola Jokic, the best player in the world. He's the best player in the world right now, but hey. And when you have Nikola Jokic on your team, you always have a chance to win. The same way I was talking about Giannis, it's the same thing. Nikola Jokic is so good, he might just carry you through a few series on his own. But if he has playoff Jamal Murray, and Jamal Murray go back to playing how he did back in the bubble or even 2023, Jamal Murray, the Nuggets gonna look real scary. But Jamal Murray hasn't been that version of Jamal Murray in a long time. I just said Jamal Murray like 10 times in 5 seconds. Nikola Jokic gonna need his teammates to step up. He's gonna need Westbrook to play like Westbrook. And he gonna need the young guys to step up. Pickett come in here and he play decent defense, make a few shots. That's really all he need to ask for. That's really all he need. Peyton Watson been inconsistent. His defense is there, but what are they gonna do on offense? They gonna play him like Ben Simmons. Now, as for the Clippers, they've been a team by committee damn near. Yes, James Harden is the one that's probably gonna get all NBA and all that. But Zubac, oh my God. Zubac has been playing different. Zubac has reached a different level. Zubac been playing different. Norman Powell has been playing different. I know he kind of slowed down there towards the end of the season, but Kawhi Leonard has came back and he's been a robot. Of Kawhi Leonard plays like this and James Harden keep up this consistency, and if Norman Powell play like he's been playing most of the season and Zubac stayed what he's been doing, the Clippers look insane. It's not even to mention Chris Dunn, Bogdanovich. Like, they pretty deep too. Ben Simmons might mess around, get a triple-double in the playoffs. I don't know. And Ty Lue leading the ship. He has a lot of experience, so hey, he ready for the moment. I believe the Clippers ended the season 18-3 or something like that. Something crazy like that. But at any moment, Kawhi Leonard could go down and their season is over. But with that being said, Clippers in 7. Now, when it comes to OKC versus their opponent, the game's still going on. Memphis is busting down the Mavericks, and they show Nico Harrison every 5 minutes. I don't need to see that man. That man look. Let me not speak too much on Nico Harrison, but it looks like the Memphis Grizzlies are gonna get the 8th seed. So I'm just gonna go along. I'm gonna make this video like Memphis got it. Regardless if it's Memphis or Dallas, they don't stand a chance. Regardless, so it really don't matter. It really don't matter. Like I was saying, the same way Denver fired the coach, Memphis did as well. Memphis is just a mess. John Morant just throwing grenades in the crowd, shooting everyone in the crowd. But since Taylor Jenkins has been fired, he low-key been on the heater. Desmond Bane been going crazy as well. Jaren Jackson hasn't looked the greatest in the play-in. There's a lot of uncertainties going on with this team. And now when it comes to OKC, oh my God, I'm an OKC fan. I can't believe this is my life, man. OKC got the reigning MVP. Yeah, I know it hasn't been announced yet, but he's the MVP. Shai's the MVP. Go debate it with your mama. I don't care. Shai's the MVP. And then they got J-Dub, Chet. They got 2 All-Stars and a DPOY candidate. They got damn near 2 DPOY candidates in Lou Dort and Chet. Now, I know it might look like me writing because OKC's my team, but even if they weren't my team, I'd still be talking about them the same way. Like the way I was talking about Cleveland. There's really not too much to be said about this series. Like I said, regardless, even if Dallas come back and win this game, they both gonna get busted. So OKC in 5. Next series is going to be Cleveland versus the Pacers. Now, this is going to be a pretty decent series, but Cleveland, if they play the same way and the lights are not too bright, should easily be able to beat Pacers. Cleveland got damn near 4 All-Stars. Kenny Atkinson, a pretty good coach, and he got DeAndre Hunter and Ty Jerome off the bench. Like I said, the Pacers are deep as well, but it's a different level over there in Cleveland. I think Cleveland got too much size for the Pacers to handle, and I feel like the Pacers might be able to put up a good fight, low-key, but I feel like overall Cleveland just got too much star power. So with that being said, Cleveland, let's say Cleveland in 6. Cleveland in 6. Cleveland in 6. Next series is going to be Knicks versus Boston. In the offseason, when the Knicks were assembled, this was supposed to be the Boston Killers. I still see Boston coming out of this series. It's probably going to be relatively close, but there's a lot of variables in how this series ends. Jaylen Brown got a busted ass knee, I think it is. Kristaps Porzingis might be in and out of the lineup. And if it's just JT and the rest of the team, I can see the Knicks coming out of this low key. But like I said, that has a lot of variables. If everyone's healthy, I see Celtics in 7. Moving back to the West, it's going to be OKC versus the Clippers. The Clippers could give a lot of struggle to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They kind of figuring everything out. If Kawhi keeps playing at this level, and they got all this defense. They got Kawhi, Chris Dunn, Zubac. Zubac, one of the best interior defenders. And we don't really know if Chet and J-Dub really made for the moment yet. Last year, J-Dub looked a little wishy-washy in the playoffs. So did Chet. But if Kawhi playing like the Terminator, James Harden doing his thing, if Ty Lue cook up a crazy concoction on defense, he might damn near put Ben Simmons on Shea. If the Clippers double Shea and they force him to be a pass first guy and have his teammates beat him, there's a world where the Clippers win this. I ain't gonna lie. Oh my God, I was asking what that was. I thought it was a light. I swear I thought that was light up there in that corner. This whole time is this. OKC in 6. Now the Lakers versus Golden State. Now that's something everyone want to see. LeBron versus Curry again in the playoffs. Both of these teams are pretty similar where they've been up and down all year. They both made a pretty significant trade to change their season. Only difference is Luka is a lot better than Jimmy Butler at this point in time. Even if it is playoff Jimmy, playoff Luka might be just better. And you can make an argument, probably isn't too crazy, that the Lakers have the best 2 players in this series. Both of these teams, if they were to match up against each other, they probably both playing pretty small because they don't got a lot of big men. The Lakers been rolling, but so has Golden State. So it's kind of hard to put your like who gonna win. Curry is definitely a more experienced coach than JJ Redick, but JJ Redick has surprised everyone. He has been a pretty solid coach, and JJ Redick's such a geek. He probably had a game plan for every team in the league, even against the Hornets. Now with that being said, in my expertise analysis, Lakers 6. That was pretty bad. Now in the Eastern Conference, it's Cleveland versus Boston. Who would have saw that coming? I don't know. Cleveland has been on a different level this year. They ended up with 64 wins, which is only 3 more than Boston. But they did have a 4-game skid, so take that away. They near got 68 games as well. I feel like they match up pretty good against Boston. And the same way I was talking about all these other series, Kristaps Porzingis, he a pretty big variable. Jaylen Brown's knee, a pretty big variable. In my head, the way I'm seeing is Kristaps and Jaylen Brown gonna be really banged up by the time they get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Cleveland's so young, gonna damn near have fresh legs. Yeah, I know JT and Donovan Mitchell damn near the same age, but besides that, the rest of the supporting cast in Cleveland is super young. Now this could be a career-defining playoffs by Jason Tatum. If you go crazy and he beat Cleveland and then he win the finals again, if JT wins back-to-back rings, we're gonna have to have some uncomfortable conversations about Jason Tatum. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't see that happening. But as well, Cleveland's backcourt is pretty small, and I feel like that could be an issue with Boston having Derek White and Drew Holiday, which are relatively big guards. But at the end of the day, I see Cleveland coming out with the dub. Cleveland in 6. When it comes to the Lakers versus Oklahoma City, this matchup is made for me. I'm a bisexual and I'm an OKC fan. I don't know what I'm gonna do. My heart gonna go in 2 different places. Whatever the saying is, I don't know. I'm gonna lose my mind watching this series. Is all I know. I know a lot of y'all that don't know me. This is the first video I see. You'll be like, oh, he just being a biased fan. No, this is expert analysis. LeBron and Luka versus Oklahoma City. I know Shannon Sharp thinks his Lakers in 5, but Oklahoma got everything you can need. They got a superstar. They got 2 All-Stars and all the depth in the world. Like I said, we do got question marks about J-Dub and Chet in the playoffs, but if they make it to the conference finals, they had to have been doing something right. And I really like that Lou Dort on Luka matchup. Lou Dort probably one of the best defenders you could put on Luka. So he could really put his body on Luka and help slow him down. Luka probably is going to average like 28, 9, and 8 or something. But he will slow him down. LeBron's so old. If he make it this far, he probably going to smell blood in the water. He probably gonna play in a different level because he know like when am I ever gonna get to the conference finals again. So I can see Bron going stupid and then winning the chip. With that being said, OKC in 7. Now, if you made it this far into my expertise analysis, we have finally got to the last two teams, which is Oklahoma City and the Cleveland Cavaliers. If this matchup would have happened, oh my God, this would feed families. You got two of the best young teams in the league making it to the finals. Both of these teams utilize two big men. OKC got Cheddar Hardenstein. Cleveland got Jerry Allen and Evan Mobley. So they're kind of sibling in a way. They're both young. They got two big men. They both got a star. I mean, Shea on a different level than Donovan Mitchell, but Donovan Mitchell not no scrub either. He damn near borderline superstar. And they both got a decent amount of depth. Now, we both know who Shea is in the playoffs, but we both know who Donovan Mitchell is in the playoffs as well. And they both got really good supporting casts. They both got pretty good coaches. But the real question is, who won that meet-off? Yeah, we both know who won that meet-off. So with that being said, OKC in 7.